first direct, popular presidential election in 29 years. The choice was between candidates of very different persuasions, Fernando Collor on the right and Lula on the left. The winner, Fernando Collor, tried to turn the economy around with yet another major economic reform. His government's failures only increased public distrust. Brazil entered the 90s, facing the worst recession in over 100 years. The population has soared, incomes have fallen, and the gap between the rich and poor remains one of the worst in the world.
O país está sofrendo crise, fome e desespero. Sai cruzeiro, entra cruzado, vai cruzado e vem cruzeiro. E quando nasce uma criança já deve no estrangeiro. O milagre brasileiro, só a sua história eu li. Que aos poucos dava tudo para o FMI. Grandes obras faraônicas que não funcionam aqui. Todo o povo do Brasil é manso como um cordeiro. Em 70 se falou num milagre brasileiro. A dívida externa ainda existe, mas ninguém viu o dinheiro.
They said, when the government changes, things will get better. What's the improvement? Things got better only for the rich. The future of this country, let me tell you, if you have a little store, you can do business. If you have land and can raise animals, you have a future. But if you can't do a little business or you don't have any land, it's all over.
The path to progress in Brazil has modernized cities and developed industry. Progress has also expanded shanty towns, uprooted peasants, carried diseases to the Indians, and brought to the Amazon rainforest perhaps the greatest man-made environmental destruction in the world. Brazil's democratic gains are for many a ray of hope, set against this stark reality. Benedita da Silva became the first black congresswoman in the history of Brazil.
A few years ago, I wouldn't have dreamed that I'd be here today as a congresswoman. Yet here I am, after years of struggle, trying to use my office to carry on the work I did in my favela. That's the way I got here, and that's how many other Beneditas and Beneditos will get here.
Assim que chegarão tantas outras Beneditas e Beneditos da vida. Senhor presidente, senhores deputados, faço parte da comissão parlamentar de inquérito. A gente vê com
We look at the future with great misgivings, not only the future of children and teens, but of the country. A nation which doesn't invest in its children has no future. We're striving to have a future, to have hope. And for that, we have to invest in our youth and make of Brazil what people want.
Brazil today is a fully democratic society with established values of individual liberty and an extraordinary respect for law and for the norms of liberty. We've solved that problem. Now we have to solve the problem of a return to growth.
In Brazil, there's no democracy. As long as there are illiterates, people dying of hunger in the streets, and a minimum wage of $50 a month, you can't speak of democracy.
A crucial question is to know if economic reforms are viable in democracy. I believe they are. I believe that you learned a lot in this crisis, that you are learning, and that we are starting to make the reforms we need. We are starting to make the fiscal adjustment that's essential. We are starting to make trade liberalization, to make privatization, to make a more market-oriented economy. So this economy will recover, and it will recover in a democratic way. I am finally an optimist man.
Every February, Brazilians celebrate Carnival, the coming of Lent. The images of Carnival have come to symbolize Brazil, yet few outsiders understand the real meanings and messages.
No jardim, ali se encontra o senhor Lagarta.
In the garden, Alice meets the caterpillar, who asks her, "Who are you?"
E Alice não sabe responder.
Alice says, "I no longer know who I am. Once I was tiny like Brazil, underdeveloped, with many problems. Suddenly I grew, became a great power, but with a huge foreign debt. I don't know what to do. I don't know who I am." But Caterpillar says, "Pay attention. I'm a caterpillar, but I turn into a butterfly, which is the symbol of transformation. This could happen to you, and this will happen to Brazil. Of that, we are certain."
Next on Americas, two worlds collide as a steady stream of migrants flood into Mexico's cities, creating a rich mix of cultures and creating dangerous levels of poverty and overcrowding. Continent on the Move. Next time on Americas.
Major funding for Americas was provided by the Annenberg CPB project. Additional funding provided by Carnegie Corporation of New York, the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation, the Rockefeller Foundation, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, and viewers like you. To place your order, or for more information about videocassettes, off-air videotaping, and books based on the Americas series, call 1-800-LEARNER.
This is PBS.
The companion book to Americas, written by Peter Wynne and published by Pantheon Books, is available. Illustrated with over 100 color and black and white photos, this 656-page hardcover volume is available for $40 plus handling. To order, call 1-800-647-3600. Please have your credit card ready.